Hare Krishna, all of you. We'll start the session with a small kirtan till Prabhuji joins. बोल हरि बोल, 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 बोल हरि बोल। माने आनंद है भाई, बोल हरि बोल। माने आनंद है भाई, बोल हरि बोल, बोल हरि बोल, बोल हरि बोल, बोल हरि बोल। जन्म सुखे, बोल हरि बोल, बोल हरि बोल, बोल हरि बोल, बोल हरि बोल। मानव जन्म में पाए, बोल हरि बोल, बोल हरि बोल, बोल हरि बोल, बोल हरि बोल। सुखे ताके दुखे ताको, बोल हरि बोल। सुखे ताको दुखे ताको, बोल हरि बोल, बोल हरि बोल, बोल हरि बोल, बोल हरि बोल। संपने विपने भाई, बोल हरि बोल, बोल हरि बोल, बोल हरि बोल, बोल हरि बोल। गृहे ताको व्यने ताको, बोल हरि बोल। कृष्णेन संसारे ताको, बोल हरि बोल, बोल हरि बोल, बोल हरि बोल, बोल हरि बोल। असत्संग छड़ी भाई, बोल हरि बोल, बोल हरि बोल, बोल हरि बोल, बोल हरि बोल। वैष्णव जन पोधी, बोल हरि बोल, बोल हरि बोल, बोल हरि बोल, बोल हरि बोल। गौर नित्यानंद बोल, गौर गदाधर बोल, गौर अद्वैत बोल, गौर अद्वैत बोल, बोल हरि 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 बोल। हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय, श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय, गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। We welcome you, Pavan Gaur Prem Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. You can take over, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you very much for giving the opportunity. So, this one was done. Jai Radha Madhava was done.
No, Prabhuji. Only this kirtan was done.
Okay. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashoda Nandana Rajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Okay, so we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 24, Text 31 onwards. Okay, निगमकल्पतरोर्गलितं फलं सुखमुखादमुदद्रिवसंयुतं पिबत भागवतं रसमालयं मुहुरहो रसिका भुवि भावुकाः नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया भगवते उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय Hare Krishna. So, thank you very much to all of you who has joined here for the service of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. And thank you to all the coordinator and the host for inviting me to speak Bhagavatam, to serve Srimad Bhagavatam. And this is only for the purification of my own self. Okay. So before I start, I can see some hands up. I don't know why. Is there anything?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. For
To read
Prabhuji.
reading.
Shloka and translation.
Okay, yeah. So maybe you can start from 31 until 34. Please, somebody can read the translation, sorry, the sloka translation and purport also. Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Do you want us to share the screen, Prabhuji?
Yes, no problem. You want me to share?
Okay,
I will
Prabhuji.
share. Otherwise, it's okay. No problem.
Yes, Prabhuji. Please share, Prabhuji.
The share option. Share screen. Okay. So text 31. So the topic entitled text Srimad Bhagavatam 10 cantos, the status quo. The topic entitled this chapter is the renunciation of Kardaman. Okay, we are reading from text 31 onwards, text 31 to 34. Okay. Yes, somebody can start, take rounds and start.
Hare Krishna. Vasudha Mataji, please read the sloka. Shanti Mataji,
Hare-
please read the translation.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Prabhuji. तानि एवाते अभिरूपानि रूपानि भगवंस्तव यानि यानि च रोचन्ते स्वजनानाम् अरूपिणः. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Translation by Desi Bhakti Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
May I read, Prabhu?
Yes.
Yeah. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. My dear Lord, although you have no material form, you have your own innumerable forms. They truly are your transcendental forms, which are pleasing to your devotees. Purport, Prabhu?
Somebody can, yes. Yes, continue, Mataji. Please.
Yeah. In the Brahma Samhita, it is stated that the Lord is one absolute, but he has Ananta or innumerable forms. Advaitam, Achyutam, Anadim, Ananta Rupam. The Lord is the original form, but still he has multi-forms. Those multi-forms are manifested by him transcendentally according to the tastes of his multi-devotees. It is understood that once Hanuman, the great devotee of Lord Ramachandra, said that he knew that Narayana, the husband of Lakshmi, and Rama, the husband of Sita, are one and the same, and that there is no difference between Lakshmi and Sita. But as for himself, he liked the form of Lord Rama. In a similar way, some devotees worship the original form of Krishna. When we say Krishna, we refer to all forms of the Lord, not only Krishna, but Rama, Nasimha, Varaha, Narayana, etc. The varieties of transcendental forms exist simultaneously. That is also stated in the Brahma Samhita. Ramadi Murtishu Navavataram.
Nanavataram.
Yeah. Nanavataram. He already exist in multi-forms, but none of the forms are material. Sridhara Swami has commented that Arupina without form means without material form. The Lord has form, otherwise how can it be stated here? Thani eva ti Bhirupani. Bhirupani Rupani Bhagavams Tava. You have your forms, but they are not material. Materially, you have no form, but spiritually, transcendentally, you have multi forms. Mayavadi philosophers cannot understand these transcendental forms of the Lord, and being disappointed, they say that the Supreme Lord is impersonal. But that is not a fact. Whenever there is a form, there is a person. Many times in many Vedic literatures, the Lord is described as Purusha, which means the original form, the original entire. The conclusion is that the Lord has no material form, and yet, according to the liking of different grades of devotees, he simultaneously exists in multi-forms such as Rama, Nasimha, Varaha, Narayana, and Mukunda. There are many thousands and thousands of forms, but they are all Vishnu Tattva, Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji. Next, text 32. Can somebody chant the verse?
Sudha Mataji, verse. Prashanti Mataji, you can read the translation.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Danda Pranam. Tvam suribhistattva bhuvutsayadha sada vivadharmana padapidam Aishwarya vairagya yasho vabodha virya shriya puttam aham prapadhe. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, pranams. Translation by Prabhupada ki Jai. My dear Lord, your lotus feet are the reservoir that always deserves to receive worshipable homage from all great sages eager to understand the absolute truth. You are full in opulence, renunciation, transcendental fame, knowledge, strength, and beauty, and therefore I surrender myself onto your lotus feet. Prabhuji, should I continue purport?
Mataji, Sindhu Mataji will read purport.
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Pranams.
Hare Krishna Pranams.
Pranam.
Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Purport is doing this Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Actually, those who are searching after the absolute truth must take shelter of the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and worship Him. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna advised Arjuna many times to surrender unto Him, especially at the end of the 9th chapter. Manmana bhava mad bhaktaha. If you want to be perfect, just always think of me, become my devotee, worship me, and offer your obeisances to me. In this way, you will understand me, the personality of Godhead, and ultimately you will come back to me, back to Godhead, back home. Why is it so? The Lord is always full in 6 opulences, as mentioned herein: wealth, renunciation, fame, knowledge, strength, and beauty. The word uttam means in full. No one can claim that all wealth belongs to him, but Krishna can claim it since he has full wealth. Similarly, he is full in knowledge, renunciation, strength, and beauty. He is full in everything, and no one can surpass him. Another one of Krishna's names is Ashamudva, which means that no one is equal to or greater than him. Thank you.
Thank you. Text 33.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Param pradhanam purusham mahantam kalam kavim trivurtam lokapalam atmanubhutyanugata prapancham swachchanda shaktim kapilam prapadye. Hare Krishna. Divya Gopu Mataji can read the translation. Divya Desai Mataji, purport.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, pranams. Translation by Sri Prabhupada ki Jai. I surrender unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, descendant in the form of Kapila, who is independently powerful and transcendental, who is the Supreme Person and the Lord of the sum total of matter and the element of time, who is fully cognizant maintainer of all the universes under the 3 modes of material nature, and who absorbs the material manifestations after their dissolution. Hare Krishna.
Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. The 6 opulences, wealth, strength, fame, beauty, knowledge, and renunciation are indicated here by Kardama Muni, who addresses Kapila Muni, his son, as Param. The word Param is used in the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam in the phrase Param Satyam to refer to the Saman Bonam or the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Param is explained further by the next word Pradhanam, which means the chief, the origin, the source of everything. Sarva Karana Karanam. Karanam, the cause of all causes. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is not formless. He is Purusham or the enjoyer, the original person. He is the time element and is all cognizant. He knows everything, past, present, and future, as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. The Lord says, I know everything present, past, and future in every corner of the universe. The material world, which is moving under the spell of the three modes of nature, is also a manifestation of his energy. Parasya Saktir Vividaiva Shruyate. Everything that we see in an interaction of his energies, Svetashvara Upanishad 6.8. Parasya Brahmaha Saktis Tatadam Akhilam Jagat. This is the version of the Vishnu Purana. We can understand that whatever we see in is an interaction of the three modes of material nature, but actually it is all an interaction of the Lord's energy. Lokapalam, he is actually the maintainer of all living entities. Nityo Nityanam, he is the chief of all living entities. He is one, but he maintains many living entities, many living entities. God maintains all other living entities, but no one can maintain God. That is his Swachananda Shakti. He is not dependent on others. Someone may call himself independent, but he is still independent on someone higher. The personality of Godhead, however, is absolute. There is no one higher than or equal to him. Shall I continue?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
The next paragraph, let Anika Mataji read. Hare Krishna.
Kapila Muni appeared as a son of Kardama Muni, but because Kapila is an incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Kardama Muni offered respectful obeisance unto him with full surrender. Another word in this verse is very important. Atmana Bhutyanu Prapancham. The Lord descends either as Kapila or Rama, Nrsimha or Varaha, and whatever forms he assumes in the material world are all manifestations of his own personal internal energy. They are never forms of the material energy. The ordinary living entities who are manifested in this material world have bodies created by the material energy. But when Krishna or any one of his expansions or parts of the expansions descend to this material world, although he appears to have a material body, his body is not material. He always has a transcendental body, but fools and rascals who are called mudhas consider him one of them, and therefore they deride him. They refuse to accept Krishna as the Supreme Personality of God because they cannot understand him. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Avajanante Mamodha, those who are rascals and fools deride me. When God descends in a form, this does not mean that he assumes his form with the help of the material energy. He manifests his spiritual form as he exists in his spiritual kingdom. Hare Krishna.
634.
Next sloka also, Prabhuji.
Yes, 34 also.
Okay, Prabhuji. Nandini Mataji, please read the sloka. Sharmila Mataji, translation. Karpagvali Mataji, purport.
Hare Krishna. Can you please scroll up, Mataji? Prabhuji. And thank you, Prabhuji. Samabi prachedha parti prajanam tvayavatirna utapta kamaha pariprajat padavim ashito ham charasye tvam hridya yunaj vishokaha yunjan vishokaha. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Well done. Well done.
Hare Krishna. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Today I have something to ask from you. You are the Lord of all living entities. Since I have now been liberated by you from my debts to my Father, and since all my desires are fulfilled, I wish to accept the order of an itinerant mendicant. Renouncing this family life, I wish to wander about, free from lamentation, thinking always of you in my heart. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Dandat from Prabhuji Mataji. Purport Prabhupada ki jai. Actually, sannyasa or renunciation of material household life necessitates complete absorption in Krishna consciousness and immersion in the self. One does not take sannyasa, freedom from the family responsibility, in the renounced order of life to make another family or to create an embarrassing transcendental fraud in the name of a sannyasa. The sannyasi's business is not to become proprietor of so many things and amass money from the innocent public. A sannyasi is proud that he is always thinking of Krishna within himself. Of course, there are two kinds of devotees of the Lord. One is called Gosayandi, which means that those who are preachers and have many followers for preaching the glories of the Lord, and who live among those many followers just to organize missionary activities. Other devotees are Atmanandi or self-satisfied and do not take the risk of preaching work. They therefore remain alone with God. In this classification was Kardamumni. He wanted to be free from all anxieties and remain alone within his heart with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Parivarja means an itinerant mendicant. A mendicant sannyasi should not live anywhere for more than 3 days. He must be always moving because his duty is to move from door to door and enlighten people about Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna, Dandat Prabhuji, Mataji.
Thank you. Hari Om Tat Sat. Thank you very much. So, Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurmilitamena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamyam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurum Shri Tapada Kamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamsa Shri Rupam Sagrajadam Saragana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Saragana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsa हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीन बंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते सप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी विश्वभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमः ओम विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशधारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktaranda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Okay, so 4 slokas. Before we get into that, we have almost exactly 40 minutes left. So I just want to quickly recall what has happened in the past. Anybody want to share in this? I know the story of Swayambhu Manu, and quickly can somebody give the devotees?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
What is happening? Yes, Mataji.
May I, Prabhuji?
Yes.
In this canto now, we are in a place where Kardamumuni and Devahuti have got married, and Kardamumuni, by his spiritual and higher equations with the Lord and his spiritual potency, has created a mansion in the air, and saw that Devahuti was in all comfort, so that they can help in the progeny of the world. And finally, Kardamuni and Devahuti were in such a position that Devahuti was able to give birth to 9 daughters who were very beautiful, and they in turn will increase, were looked upon to increase the progeny of the world. And now further, after that, Kardamuni realizes his mission, and at the same time Devahuti's lamentation is being explained, wherein Devahuti understands how important it was to be in spiritual knowledge, and when she comes to know that her husband is a very high-ended spiritual personality, and who has lot of great knowledge, she laments that how could she have been in his association and not taken spiritual knowledge further and wasted her time in material deeds. So she requests Kardama Muni that having given her everything else, he also bestows spiritual knowledge onto her. And in between, we have been explained how devotional service is very much important in this world. And for those who are householders also, how the Lord gives appearance if we are engaged in devotional service, though we are not in any other, if we, it is also said that if we are in Ashtanga Yoga or Hatha Yoga, then if we are in search of fame or any achievement, then the Lord will not appear to us. And it also explains, this canto is also explaining the importance of Sankhya Yoga and what is Sankhya Yoga, where it says that devotional service is mainly a part of, which is main in Sankhya Yoga. That's
Very
what is
good,
my
Mataji.
understanding.
Thank you, Mataji. Thanks for the summary. So we saw also in this canto, we saw the life of Swayambhu Manu and the devotee, which is, I think it will continue in the fourth canto also, like the daughters of devotee, Prasuti, Akuti. So, and then the sons, the two sons, Tanapat. So all this will continue until the fourth canto. But in this particular chapter, in this particular canto, like so far, what happened? Swayambhu Manu was Swayambhu Manu has given the daughter Devuti in marriage to Kardama Muni, and we saw, I think the last class we took, I remember that how Devuti served Kardama Muni very nicely, and then she was, her beauty was gone, she became very thin, her hair became matted, she lost her complete beauty, and then Kardama Muni, gives her a boon, or revokes all the beauty, using his mystic power. He created a flying mansion, and they went to different, places in this world or in this planet, where it is accessible only by some demigods and other beings. And then they got, she gave birth to 9 daughters, and then they all will get married to one of the sages. Okay, the 9 sages, it will come. I think it is gone, or I'm not sure if it is coming. So Brahma will instruct Kardama Muni to give all the 9 daughters in marriage to 9 sages. So that is all given already, I believe. So now the lamentation of devotee is that she wants a son, because she wants to get a son by which she can, feel protected. Actually, Kardama Muni was ready to give love of Godhead to devotee, but devotee wanted a son. So this is the mistake that we do even in our spiritual life, in our life. When we get something better, rather we see what we can get something else, because people are not very much inclined to getting spiritual boons, because the boon which we get from the demigods and devatas are material. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that those who get the boon from those who worship demigods for material boon, what are the 2 qualities of that? Krishna says why people are less intelligent. Those who are worshipping demigod, those who are demigod worshippers, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, they are less intelligent. Why? They get some boon, which are 2 things in nature. Very good. Temporary.
Temporary.
Which is temporary, and it is limited.
They entangle us. Limited.
Entangle ourselves in the cycle of birth and death.
It is limited. Means, they cannot, because they invoke all the power from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So they cannot give everything what you want. So whatever that you want, They will give, but everything is limited and it is temporary. So that is why demigod worship is is avoided in the Krishna consciousness. But we worship, we respect the demigod. It is not that we don't respect the demigods. We respect the demigod, but it is not necessary to worship them. So why? So what I was coming back to the subject, that sometimes we get something higher, but we reject and we want to take something which may be material. For example, Prabhupada, one time he was traveling in a train, and Prabhupada's that some other businessman or some rich man, he came to know that there was a sannyasi who is traveling in a train and is very, he has followers from all over the world. So then this businessman, he approached Prabhupada in the train, and then he asked, Swamiji, can you please please give me your blessings? So Prabhupada said, you really want my blessings? That person, the businessman, said, yes, I want your blessings. Then Prabhupada saw there was two, Western disciples of Prabhupada. They were doing chamara for Prabhupada, with shaved head, wearing saffron, having a shika. So Prabhupada said, if I give my blessing, then you will become like that. Is that okay for you? Then that businessman was thinking for a while, and then he said, okay, Swamiji, it's okay. Then Prabhupada said, no problem, it's okay. I will give you the boon. I will give you blessings. Said, no, it's okay, Swamiji, thank you very much. So he left the place. So people come to sannyasis to get some blessings, and particularly for material opulence. They want to get the blessings of the sannyasis so that they be in material opulence. Okay, so I don't know, some chats are going on. What happening? Is there any problem with my sound? Am I audible? Can you hear me?
For few of us, it's fine. I think for few of them, they have the problem. For few of us, it's fine.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay.
All clear, Prabhuji.
It's fine for me too, Prabhuji. It's very clear.
It's fine, Prabhuji. It's fine.
It's fine for me also.
Can you? Okay, I'll talk maybe a little louder so that you're audible. You can hear me. So this is what has happened, and now we saw that Kardama Muni meditated upon the Supreme Lord, and the Supreme Lord descended, and he is now in the womb of Kardama. The womb of Devahuti. So now Kardama Muni has understood that this Supreme Lord has descended, and he is in the womb of his wife. So he is offering these prayers, these 4 slokas that we read today and we recited. These are basically the prayers offered by Kardama Muni to the Supreme Lord. Okay, so Kardama Muni offered prayers to the Supreme Lord. Okay, so let's see 31. It is said, the translation I'll read again. My dear Lord, although you have no material form, you have your own innumerable forms. They truly are your transcendental form, which are pleasing to your devotees. So Prabhupada in this purport. Okay, so the first let's see the translation. In the translation, Prabhupada writes, you have your own innumerable forms. So the Lord has millions of forms because Krishna is unlimited. Okay, and anything related to Krishna is unlimited. He has unlimited energies. Everything related to Krishna is unlimited. Similarly, his forms are also unlimited. It's not easy to count the number of forms that the Supreme Lord takes. Only what is understood by the great personalities are captured in the scriptures. But there are so many forms which are not understood by many great personalities, including Brahma, Shiva, and Narada. So they all are very submissive that they could not understand the Supreme Lord, and they themselves are claiming that we don't understand the Supreme Lord, although we are in exalted position, but we don't understand the Supreme Lord. This is captured in the scriptures. So in Brahma Samhita, who's that? Brahma says that Advaitam Achyutam Anadim Ananta Rupam. Okay. So what does it mean? Advaitam means the Lord is one without a second. The Lord is one. The Lord is one. Advaitam. Okay. Advaitam means oneness. But it is not about the Mayavadi's oneness. It is the Lord is one, is all in all. Okay. And then the Lord says Achyutam. Okay, there is no decay. The body doesn't decay. The Lord's body does not subject to any decay. And Anadim. Anadim means there is means there's no end. There is no beginning. There is no end. There is without a beginning. That nobody can trace the origin of the Lord. Okay, so we should not misunderstand that because Lord Krishna appeared 5,000 years ago in Vrindavan from the womb of Devaki, that we should not think, oh, Lord has appeared only 5,000 years ago. No, the Lord was existing always. The Lord was existing all the time. So there is no beginning to the Lord. And then Ananta Rupam. Ananta Rupam means whose forms is endless or who has unlimited forms. Ananta means unlimited. Rupam means form. Okay, this is the prayers of Lord Brahma, because Lord Brahma is a great devotee of the Lord, and he has took the darshan of the Lord many times. So he, from his experience, is saying that the Lord has multiple forms. Okay, and Prabhupada in the purport talks about Hanuman. He refers to Hanuman. For example, Hanuman, he is very dear to Lord Rama, but he knows that Narayana, Krishna, Rama, they all are one. They all are one. But he is attached to a particular form. He is attached to Lord Ramachandra, because Hanuman cannot live without Lord Ramachandra. So he is always chanting the names of Lord Ramachandra. In the Brihad Bhagavatam also, if you see, when Narada Muni was in search of great devotees, Hanuman also comes. Hanuman also is a great devotee of the Lord. He is constantly chanting the names of Lord Ramachandra. And he is constantly meditating upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Ramachandra. So, although he knows all the forms are same, but he is attached to a particular form. Even in the Chaitanya Leela, if you know who is Hanuman in Chaitanya Leela.
Murari Gupta.
Yes, Murari Gupta.
Murari Gupta.
Yes, Murari Gupta. So when even Murari Gupta, when Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he manifested his original form in front of Murari Gupta, he shown the form of Krishna, and then also he shown the form of Lord Ramachandra. And then he told to chant the names of Krishna. But Murari Gupta, he told, my dear Lord, I cannot chant any names other than Lord Ramachandra. I'm so attached to the names of Lord Ramachandra. So that is the quality of the devotee. So similarly, all the devotees, they have their own bhava. So they, some devotees, they like Lord Ramachandra. Some devotees, they like Narsinghadev. Some devotees, they like Krishna, Radha Krishna. Some devotees, they like Lakshmi Narayan. Some devotees, they like other forms of
Chaitanya
Chaitanya. Yeah. So it's nothing wrong. Okay, because they when they develop some attachment, it's nothing wrong. Oh, somebody may think, oh, this is somebody is worshipping Lakshmi Narayan, somebody is worshipping Narasimha, somebody is worshipping Ramachandra. Even you see, Prabhupada installed these deities all over the world, according to the the place where they are. For example, Prabhupada particularly installed Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman in Mumbai, because in Mumbai many people are very much attached to Lord Ramachandra. So Prabhupada has installed deities also according to the mood of the people of that particular place. So it's nothing wrong. Okay, if you're worshipping the Supreme Lord in any form, that's fine, as long as you develop the taste for worship of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay, and then in the purport, Prabhupada says, I'm talking, these all are in the 31 text 31. And then Prabhupada refers to that another prayer from Brahma Samhita, okay, which says, Ramadi Murti Kala Niyamena Tistam Nanavadharam Akarod Bhavane Shikintu. So Krishna says, Brahma says that Ramadi, okay, the incarnation of Lord Rama, okay, and other forms, everything, okay. So the Brahma is glorifying Krishna, and he's saying, I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who manifested himself personally as Krishna and the different avatars in the world in the forms of Rama, Narasimha, Vamana, etc. as his subjective portion. So Prabhupada is referring again to Brahma Samhita's prayers, and he maintains, he says that all the forms are not material. All the forms are not material. Whether the Lord comes as Kurma, whether the Lord comes as Varahadev, when the Lord comes as Haigriva. So whatever forms he comes, like sometimes he comes as a Matsya, as a fish, as a tortoise, as a boar, as a lion, whatever form he takes, nothing is material. Nothing is material. If you see, boar incarnation is transcendental. His body is transcendental. If you read the Varahadev appearance, I was hearing some other lecture the other day. Whatever came out of the body of the Lord as a Varahadev, it's all the ingredients which are required to perform the sacrifice. If it is ordinary boar, if it is ordinary pig, that the normal thing will come. It's material. But when the Lord appeared with this transcendental body as a boar incarnation, all the things manifested from his body are used, or the ingredients for the sacrifice. So whatever form the Lord takes is a transcendental form. Okay, and Prabhupada refers to Sridhar Swami. Sridhar Swami has commented that arupina, without form. Rupina means form. Means without a form. Rupina means without a form. That means it's a without material form. So the Mayavadi philosophers, they think that whenever this word comes in the scriptures, arupina, that means they say, oh, there is no form for the Supreme Lord. They say the God doesn't have a form. So in some other places, we see in the scriptures that it is when the Lord is referred as nirguna. Nirguna means without any qualities. Without any qualities. But it doesn't mean that the Lord doesn't have any material qualities. Nirguna means the Lord is addressed as Nirguna. Nirguna means the Lord doesn't have any material qualities. He has transcendental qualities. He is not affected by the modes of the three modes of the material nature. So the Lord is beyond the modes of the material nature. That's why material nature, material qualities. That is why he is addressed as Nirguna. But these Mayavadis, they think that the Lord is one. The Lord is one. There is no form. Everything are same. Everything are same. So in this one, I want to share the story of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada, once he traveled to Amritsar, along with Srila Prabhupada, they went to some, some melan, like, the philosophers from different places, they assembled and they were doing a presentation, like, some melan, like, we do the Sampradaya Sammelan, no? So like that, they do the Sammelan of different philosophers from different religion. So many means particularly from different sects in the Hindu religion also. So Prabhupada presented there, and then he was banging on the head of, because everybody presented Mayavada philosophy. They all presented like the Lord doesn't have a form, the Lord is one, like this. But Prabhupada, when he presented, he banged everyone on their head, and he presented that the Lord has a form, and the Lord is not, without a form. The Lord is not without any qualities. He is having all the qualities, all the Kalyana, like the Lord has the Kalyana Guna. So like he has all the qualities of the material world and the spiritual world also. So Prabhupada presented it, and then the same night, Prabhupada, they all were staying in one chaudhri, like what I would say, some ashram or some chaudhri. So in Amritsar, and one Mayavadi, he could not tolerate it. They were staying, they all slept. That Mayavadi, he got up in the middle of the night. He could not tolerate that. How can this Swamiji can say these things? He could not accept those things. He could not tolerate it. He got up and he came to where Prabhupada was sleeping. And then Prabhupada's secretary, Gurudas Prabhu, was there. And he called this Gurudas Prabhu and he said, how can your guru can say these things? The Lord doesn't have, the Lord has a form and he is personal, all these things. So, and then Gurudas Prabhu said, no, so whatever my guru is saying is absolute. And then this Mayavadi could not tolerate it. He said, no, the Lord doesn't have a form. Actually, everything is one. Everything is one. All are one. And then Gurudas Prabhu wanted to teach a lesson for him. So he said, okay, everything is one. Okay, give me your shawl. He was having a shawl, and then he took the shawl, and what he did, he took one small rope or a small thread from it, and he rolled the shawl, and he kept it under his head, and he gave this robe to this Mayavadi, and he told, you please take this, because you said all are one. So you can go and sleep with this. I will sleep with this. So he kept it under and he started sleeping. And the Mayavadi went back, and it was like, it's in the month of December, January, imagine how it will be in Amritsar, the northern part of India. It was so cold that this Mayavadi philosopher could not tolerate, the temperature. So he came back. Said, he asked Gurudas Prabhu, please, can you give me my shawl? He said, all are one. You said everything are one. You take this one. You have the shawl, the thread from the shawl, and I have the shawl. All are one. You keep it. He said, no, whatever that you say, now I accept. He said, whatever you say, now I accept. Not everything are one. Please give me my shawl back. So Gurudas Prabhu said, no. You have to beg forgiveness from my guru, then only I will give you the shawl. Then he said, whatever you say, I accept. Okay, please give me the shawl. I will beg forgiveness from your guru tomorrow morning. And then Gurudas Prabhu gave the shawl and he went, he slept, and the next day morning he came and he fell at the feet of Srila Prabhupada and he told, I was convinced that the Lord has a form because of your disciple, Srila Prabhupada. So, was so pleased that to hear that Gurudas Prabhu has defeated this Mayavadi philosopher. This is how Prabhupada wants everyone to preach. We should not, we should preach like to make our gurus proud. So that it is not necessary that we have to go and invoke an argument or fight with others. But whenever there is an opportunity you get, you should preach nicely so that we can please our Sampradaya, Srila Prabhupada and our Guru and our ISKCON Guru Vrinda. So that is why this Mayavadi philosophers, they don't accept the form of the Lord. And Prabhupada was very much against this kind of Mayavadi philosophy. And another incident, I remember Prabhupada was in Chennai one time, okay, and Prabhupada was one Pakka Mayavadi. He's a very Pakka Mayavadi. So he was there, and he was saying, Prabhupada, you wrote, he was reading from Bhagavad Gita, and he said, Prabhupada, you see here, it's nothing mentioned about Krishna, but you are in the translation you are referring to Krishna. You are mentioning Krishna. Then Prabhupada said, okay, then what else? And there is another mistake. In 7th chapter, here you are talking. Here there is nothing about Krishna. Here you are mentioning about Krishna. And then Prabhupada asked, okay, go ahead. Is there anything more? Then Prabhupada was keep on encouraging this guy. And then this Mayavadi was saying, Prabhupada, here no Krishna, here Krishna. Here no Krishna, here Krishna. Here no Krishna, here Krishna. So like that, wherever there is not mentioning Krishna's name, and this Mayavadi was telling the name of Krishna, and Prabhupada was encouraging him, and it was going on till 18th chapter it went. All the way from 6th chapter till 18th chapter it went. And Prabhupada went, and then that's Mayavadi, that Mayavadi finished. Prabhupada said, okay, thank you very much for pointing out these things. I will look into that. And then Prabhupada told, okay, give him prasadam. And the disciples gave prasadam to this Mayavadi. And then he went back. And then the disciples asked Prabhupada, because Prabhupada is very much against these Mayavadis, and he could not tolerate this Mayavadis presentation. So Prabhupada always jump like a lion, if somebody, says that the Lord is impersonal. But this time, this Prabhupada was encouraging this person. And then the disciples asked Prabhupada, what is the reason? And the Prabhupada said that he was chanting Lord's name, Krishna, 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 Krishna for 1 hour. That is sufficient for him to, get purified. And then we gave, on top of that, we gave him prasadam also. So he ate prasadam. So when he comes back next time, he will be purified enough to listen to my words. So that's why I did not interrupt, when he was talking about Mayavadi philosophy. So then there's another story. So like this, the Mayavadis, they think, okay, we have the Mayavadis, they have a lot of conviction that everything is one. They say the form of the Lord and the stone are one. The form of the Lord is also, like the Archa Vigraha. In the temple, we have Archa Vigraha. And that is also that one, and also the stone, they both are same. A stone on the rock, on a hill, they say they both are same. Why not we worship this rock? So we should, and if anybody, when we preach, if somebody asks like this, we have to give them nicely that we should ask, okay, we accept that everything is one. The Archa Vigraha is made of rock, and there is a rock in the hill. So both are same, okay, we accept. But I want to ask you something, that how, okay, you have a 500 rupees note in your packet. Yes, we have a 500 rupees note. Take it from him, and you say that I have a small piece of paper, and this is also fine. This is also a paper. This is also a paper. Why don't you take this one and let me give this 500 rupees note? So they may not accept it. Like, for example, you go to Pav Bhuj, Pani Puri, or not. This Bombay and Bangalore, this very famous. What is it? You go to the Vada Pav store. the guy who's standing on the seat, he has a paper to give vada pav. That is also a paper. Why don't you use that paper? Why don't you go to the shop and take a 500 note and take one vada pav in it and eat it, and take one 100 rupees note and take chutney in it? So if that is also a paper, this is also a paper, why not the same? Both are same. So then we have to understand that this paper, it has a value because it is not that it is having Gandhiji photo in it. It has a value because it is authorized by the government. The other paper does not have any authority. That doesn't the other paper is not authorized by the government. Okay. We use this note because it is authorized by the government. Similarly, the form in the Lord, the Archa form in the Lord that we use is authorized by the scriptures, authorized by the saintly people. Okay. But the rock which is not authorized, the rock which is on the road, which is the stone which is on the road, which is not authorized. It's just like the normal paper. So we have to, put forward these kind of things. If somebody comes up and with the story of all are one, everything is one, everything are same. Because the problem with our the so-called Hinduism is that we think that everyone are same, all are same. Oh, Lord Ganesha, Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, this, that. Nowadays they equate everyone, all the the so-called saintly people also, they are saying God, this Baba, that Baba, everyone are God. But when somebody comes up with these kind of things, we should put forward these arguments and defeat those arguments when you are going for preaching. And text 32, the Lord says, Kardama Muni prays to the Lord to give him shelter, So in the entire creation, because of we have only 5 minutes, I want to summarize those things. So I'll go a little faster. Maybe you can ask questions after that. In the entire creation, if you want to get out of the cycle of birth and death, if you want to find a solution to the problems of this material world, which is birth, death, old age, and disease, Janma, Vyadhi, Jara, Mrityu, then there is only one solution, is to take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is the testimony of the citizens of the higher planet. This is the testimony of the people in this planet, and this is the testimony of the people living in the lower planet. So if you want to take shelter of if you want to get out of the problems of the material life, only solution is to take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay, there's no other way. Means if you think, okay, I can fight, I can do this and I can do that, I can try to resolve the problem, I'll find out that there will be one day the medicine will come out by which I will avoid the death. These all are bogus. These all are bogus. So in terms of because of the shortage of time, there's one story I'll narrate. This Walt Disney, is the father of the Disney, the cartoon character. So Walt Disney, he was so paranoid about his death. He don't want to die. So what he did, he called scientists and he said, I don't want to die. So they said, okay, we'll find you a medicine. He asked how much it will cost. Like this is, I'm talking about means maybe some 70, 80 years ago. So yeah, he said, I don't want to die. And the scientist told how much, the Walt Disney asked how much it will cost. Scientist said, okay, I want $10 million. So he gave $10 million. And then they started with their work. They were doing the research to find a medicine so that there won't be any death. So then what they did, it was a time for Walt Disney to die. Walt Disney was on his bed, deathbed, and he called this scientist and he asked, what happened to the medicine? He said, we are almost there. So don't worry. Okay. we will make this medicine. You die, no problem, but we will preserve your body, and then what we will do? We will bring you back in life. Once you die, once you finish the medicine, we will bring you back to life. And then they, Walt Disney died, and these people, they kept on doing some research, and many years passed. And then after a few years, they announced, the scientists, they announced, we are almost there to find out the medicine. We are going to, use this medicine to bring Walt Disney back to life. And then all the descendants of Walt Disney, they become paranoid. They were thinking, oh, what is this? If Walt Disney comes back to life, then he will take away all the possessions that we have, because already they got all the opulence what Walt Disney was having. And then he asked, and then Walt Disney's descendants, they called the scientists and they said, how much you want to stop this? They said, another 10 million. So they got another 10 million, and then they stopped it. So simply by speculating, actually there is no medicine to death. Nobody can stop death. Just by speculating, they made millions of dollars. So similarly, these modern scientists, they say they will bring medicine. Like Prabhupada gives this analogy, like if you are hungry, or sorry, if you are thirsty, and if you want water, okay, and if somebody says, okay, don't worry, I'll give you water after 50 years, it's not the result, it's not the solution. So if somebody wants water, you should give it now. So similarly, these these scientists, they try to avoid that by doing so many ways and doing so many speculations, but nothing is going to stop unless you take shelter of the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. So that is the summary of that sloka, which is 32. Let's go to 33. Okay, in this one, the law that Kardama Muni surrenders unto the form of the Supreme Lord. Okay, Kapila, as Kapila. Kapila Muni was so powerful that, if you know this 9th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, the son of Sagara, the king Sagara, that they did the Ashwamedha Yajna, and Lord Indra steals their horse, and then he ties it in the ashram of in the Kapila Muni and the Kapila Dev, and the sons of Sagara, they came in search of that, and then they thought that it is Kapila Dev who stole the horse and he kept it in the ashrama, and then they offended Kapila Dev, and the own offense that himself, it is said that sometimes somewhere it is told that there was a fire emanated from the Kardama Muni's eyes, but I think in the Srimad Bhagavatam it is told that it is their own offense that has burnt them alive, and all the sons of Sagara were dead. So Kapila Muni was so powerful. It's so powerful because he is Supreme Personality himself. Okay, and Kapila Dev has given, like, you will read those things, I think, in the later, I think, chapter 33 onwards, probably there. What is that? The Kapila Siksha. The Kapila will give Siksha to his mother Devavati, that is Sankhya Yoga, Sankhya philosophy. Sankhya philosophy is basically the analytical study of the matter and the spirit, and connecting everything in relation to the Supreme Lord. This is what is the philosophy which was given by Sankhya philosophy, which was given by Kapila Dev. But then later there was another Kapila, atheist Kapila. He also propounded Sankhya philosophy, but he also analyzed the matter and the spirit, but he did not connect it to the Supreme Lord. So that is why anything without Supreme Lord is atheist. It's basically like the scientists, what they speak. They say this and this and that. It works under nature. The seasons happens because of the movement of the sun. This happens because of the movement of the earth. But they don't connect everything to the source, like how the movement of the sun is happening, how the earth is revolving, rotating. Nobody can explain those things. So basically that's atheist philosophy. So he's offering prayers to Lord Kapila. But one thing we have to remember here is that generally, in the modern society, the father does not fall down in the feet of the son. Even if you remember, I think it will come after this. Yeah, the Daksha pastime will come. When Daksha entered the arena of sacrifice, Lord Brahma did not get up. And so all the demigods, everyone stood up. Only two people did not stood up. One is Brahma, another one is Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva did not get up because he was meditating on the Supreme Personality of the Godhead, because Lord Shiva got married to
Sati.
Sati,
His daughter.
So he's like father-in-law. Shiva's father-in-law is Daksha. So basically one is supposed to respect and get up. But he did not get up because he was completely absorbed in the thoughts, in the meditation of the Supreme Lord. But the other personality who did not get up is Brahma. Brahma did not get up because Brahma's son is Daksha. So Brahma is actually in a higher position. He doesn't have to get up. So here also, if you see, and in the material world, the father will not pay obeisances or glorify or offer obeisances to the son. But here, if you see, Kardama Muni, although Kapila is going to be his son, is offering prayers to Kapila and offering obeisances, because he knows that this is not a normal son. He's not an ordinary son. He knows this is a Supreme Personality of Godhead. And even if you see when Lord Krishna appeared in the prison house of Kamsa from the womb of Devaki, Vasudev offered prayers. Okay, Vasudev and Devaki, they offered prayers. It's not that it's my son only, so I don't want to glorify him. So they know that this personality is a Supreme Personality of the Godhead. Okay, but only the fool, the rascals, the mudas, they deride the form of the Lord. They deride the form of the Lord. That's why, as I mentioned before, we worship the Archa Vigraha. The fools and the rascals, they deride the form of the Supreme Personality of the Godhead. Even as Archa Vigraha form, and they say all the stones are one. Then the only argument is that we have to say that every paper is the same. Why don't you put all your money which you stored in the treasury, like in the treasury you have papers, bunch of notes. Why don't you put it to the waste paper guy? Every month we put the newspaper. No, every month we put newspaper per kilo. Like I have 1 month of paper. Okay, we give it to the waste paper guy and he takes it and he gives some little money. Why don't you take that same money which is kept in the treasury? That is also a paper. No, why don't you put it and take it, exchange it the money again? Again, the guy will give another paper. Okay, so it's all the paper, but the difference is one is authorized, one is not authorized. And then the last one, the last sloka 34. Okay, I'm finishing in 2 minutes. Prabhupada talks about the sannyasi, okay, and Prabhupada particularly talks about different types of sannyasis. Like most of you know this, the Goshtyanandi and Bhajananandi or Atmanandi. The Goshtyanandi is the one who preaches, travels everywhere. If you see all the great sages, even in our Sampradaya, the sannyasis, if you see, they don't stay in one place. And you can see Prabhupada as a very good example. Prabhupada has traveled all over the world for 14 times. Wherever he goes, he stays for a particular period of time, and then he moves and travels, preaches. That is basically Goshtyanandi. Like we can see, because we are in the Sampradaya of Narada Muni. One of our greatest personality is Narada Muni in our Sampradaya. Like, the knowledge descends from Brahma to Narada, Narada to Vyasa, like that. So Narada Muni is one of our greatest acharya in our Sampradaya. So if you see, Narada Muni doesn't stay in one place. He always travels and preaches in all three worlds. He gives mercy of the Lord to even the fallen people. So similarly, we have to follow the mood of the great acharyas and the personalities like Narada, and then all the follow the footsteps of the great acharyas in our sampradaya, like Srila Prabhupada, and travel all over the world and preach wherever possible. Like, it's not necessary that we have to go travel around the world, but wherever possible, yare dekho tare ho Krishna Upadesh. So whenever possible, wherever possible, you meet anyone, preach about the Supreme Personality of the Godhead. And then, like, there is, people will do Goshtyanandi, like they will, the sannyasis will preach, and then finally they will come and sit to one place. They will do meditation on the Supreme Lord, and then they give up their body. So that time, before they give up their body, they come and sit in one place. They do the bhajananandi, like, they do the bhajan, they will do the own bhajan, and then they are satisfied. They meditate on the Lord, and then they give up their body. So parivraja means a traveling mendicant. Like, he doesn't stay in one place. Like, if you see, if you read Bhagavatam, anybody remember how long Sukadeva Goswami stays in one place? This is particular example was given.
Till the time a cow can be milked.
Yes, only that a time of a cow can be milked. But he sat down for 7 days in one place and he spoke Bhagavatam. Why? Why?
Parikshit Maharaj.
Because the Bhagavatam has to manifest. He has to speak Bhagavatam. And Parikshit Maharaj has to hear Bhagavatam. Basically, there is the arrangement of the Lord that he has to speak Bhagavatam so that the Bhagavatam can be given to the whole world. And even in the association of the devotees. If you are in the association of devotees, it's nice. You can stay in the association of devotees, hear Katha, hear Bhagavatam. That is fine. You can stay in one place. But apart from that, they travel. So, Prabhupada particularly stays here, a mendicant sannyasi should not live anywhere for more than 3 days. This is mostly for the sannyasis, but for the grihasthas like us, we should preach as much as possible to the people, those who are in a miserable state, because they don't understand they are in miserable state. They think they are happy, they think that everything is good, but don't disturb them, saying that, oh, what you are enjoying is misery. Don't give them directly, but generally just speak to them. Have a nice first loving relationship, and then you can preach. Don't give them philosophy directly. It will chase them away from Krishna consciousness. Okay, so that is what is the summary of this 4 sloka. Kardama Muni is praying for renunciation. He wants to leave the house. So after this, you will see the sloka where the Lord gives him permission, and then he takes sannyasa and he leaves. We can see from the life of Ramanujacharya also. Ramanujacharya also leaves home when he was very young, and he took sannyas, took permission from Varadaraja Perumal. He was not given sannyasa by anyone else. He was directly given sannyasa by Varadaraja Perumal. Like similarly, our Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he took sannyas when he realized that he has many things to do. He left, the home. He became a sannyasi so that he can preach the Krishna consciousness to the whole world. And he was the one who started the Sankirtan movement. So, similarly, that for a higher purpose, that Kardama Muni is leaving home. A good question may come, a very important question may come, that the Lord is at home, why he has to leave home? Like Kardama Muni, see, the purpose of renouncing and going to the forest, doing tapasya and all this thing is to attain the God. But Kardama Muni has already attained the God. The Lord is going to appear in his home. Then why he is leaving home and going to forest? Because he wants to set an example to others. Okay. Because if he settles at home, then everybody will tell, oh, see, So the great personality, what they do, the general people will follow. So he is setting an example. for people to renounce, you know, the family life at a particular time of period and fully dedicate Krishna conscious to the Krishna conscious life. Okay. So that's it. I'll stop here. I'm already above the time. If any questions, please ask.
Thank you so much for this wonderful lecture, Prabhuji. So many nice points, doubts clarified automatically. Can we take questions, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji. I'm already over time. So maybe any comments, any questions, please, any comments also, please share. Would be interested to hear the.
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. It's a very short question. In the 6 opulence, they say here, Krishna has wealth, strength, fame, beauty, knowledge, renunciation. The renunciation is a question mark, Prabhuji. Can you explain that?
Okay, renunciation is very simple. Although the Lord has created, for example, if one has a beautiful wife, he is so much attached to his beautiful wife. Yeah. But Krishna had 16,108 beautiful wives, but he was never attached to any one of them. When the time came, he just left all of them. You know, he left this material world. When he was with the gopis, he just left Vrindavan and he went to Mathura. So similarly, you know, if somebody who is very, very knowledgeable, that they become very puffed up. There are so many stories in the Shastras, but just to answer your short, although the Lord has everything in full, he is never attached to anything. Even he created the whole world, the whole creation for the enjoyment of the conditioned soul. He is never attached to any of these things. So he is fully renounced because he is Atmaram. You know, that the sloka Atmaram is, you know, the Srimad Bhagavatam says the Lord is self-sufficient. The Lord is self-satisfied. He doesn't want anything from outside. But he creates everything for the pleasure of his own devotees. So he is renunciant, means nobody can be, you know, like as I given an example, like, you know, somebody who has opulence, like a wealth, yeah, he cannot renounce, yeah. Like somebody, somebody who is having full wealth, you know, for example, they cannot renounce. And if somebody renouncing without wealth, that's not real renunciation. For example, a beggar says, okay, I'm going to renounce everything that I have from tomorrow. What he has nothing to renounce.
Yeah.
But a rich man renounces. That means that's a real renunciation. Similarly, the Lord has everything in full, but he renounces everything. He doesn't get attracted to any of these things.
Yeah. Okay, Prabhu, understood. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mandesh.
Any more doubts, devotees?
Okay. Looks like
Also, Prabhuji, out of these 4 texts which you read just now, only the first one is spoken by Brahma. Other 3 are by Kapila Muni.
No,
Not Kapila Muni, sorry,
Kapila
Kardama Muni.
In the purport, Prabhupada refers to Brahma's prayers. In the purport, if you read the purport of the 31st sloka, Prabhupada refers 2 slokas from Brahma Samhita, which is spoken by Lord Brahma.
Yes, that is Brahma. The other 3 by Kardama.
No.
All 4 by Brahma.
The first sloka also is Kardama Muni only.
Acha, okay.
Kardama Muni only spoke all these prayers, but in the Prabhupada, you know, refers to Brahma's prayer.
Yeah, okay.
Substantiate the prayers of Kardama Muni, because Kardama Muni says you don't have any material form, you have unlimited forms. So to substantiate that, he is referring to Brahma.
Yes, thank you, Prabhuji. Pranams. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you very much.
If there are no other questions, we can end the class, devotees. Anybody else? Okay, Prabhuji. Shall we end the class with the prayers, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji. Thank you so much to all the devotees.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for enlightening us. Please keep coming more often so that we get such nectar shared in the form of Bhagavatam. Mancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyev cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Bhagavatam ki jai. Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you,
Thank you very
Prabhuji.
much.
Shall I end the
Thank you. Hare
class,
Krishna.
Prabhuji?
Vandana Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila
Jai.
Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai, Jai.
Shall I end the class, Prabhuji, with your permission?
Yes, yes, Mataji. Thank you very much.
Thank you
Hare
so
Krishna.
much, Prabhuji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Jai Gaur.
Pranams.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.